Okay guys, so in this tutorial we're going to look at how we can assemble these parts to actually look like the completed product, which is a really useful skill to learn on Fusion for when you're modeling your designs. So we've sent this off for cutting, and at the moment these are just flat two-dimensional sketches. I'm going to click to my home view so that I'm seeing it a bit more like that, and I can expand this slightly just by zooming in a little. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the extrude tool which you used previously, but we need to create what are called components. Okay, so each of these parts that we're cutting will be a part on our drawing, and another word for part is component. So we're going to press our E for extrude, and I'm going to select this part of the top layer. I'm not going to do anything on my original drawing. I'm just leaving that alone. Remember, that's just there as a backup. Once I've selected that part, I've clicked E and I've selected that part. I want to pull this up to a height, not of 5. It will jump probably in steps of 5. I'm going to turn it to 3. And I'm going to come to this box here, which will open every time you click your extrude button. And at the very bottom, I'm going to make sure that I'm calling that a new part or a new component. And then I click OK. And two things will happen. The first one is the rest of your drawing will disappear, which is a little bit scary. And the second one is that in your browser here, there will be what's called component 1, which is the one we've just created. I'm going to double click on that, and I'm going to change the name of that to top so that it makes more sense for me than just calling things 1, 2, 3, 4. The other thing is in my browser, because my drawing seems to have disappeared, I need to come back and open up my little tab here. And you'll see that sketch 1, which sort of flickers if I move that onto there, isn't visible. Well, it isn't visible because the little eye is switched off. If I switch it back on, now I've got my drawing back. And with my sketch visible again, what I can now do is I can just copy that process. I'm going to click E for extrude. I'm going to click the middle piece. I'm going to start to pull that up and change it to 3, and then I'm going to come back to my box and click new component and OK. And now look, we've got a second component, except this is now called component 7. Well, I'm never going to remember what that is, so I'm going to double click and call that middle 1 and press enter. Then I'm going to repeat the process again. I'm going to press E, click this one and start to lift it up. Change the thickness to 3, make sure I'm creating a new component and click OK. And then I'm going to call that middle 2 and press enter. And then same process, E for extrude, click on this surface, make sure it's going to be 3 millimeters thick, make sure that I've called that a new component and click OK. And then finally, we're going to click on this one here, and I'm selecting all 3 of those parts, pulling it up, and it's actually sort of 3 components, but I'm going to save it as 1 in this case, and click new component and OK. And this one, oh, I forgot to rename the one above. Let's just change that to bottom or back, because it's the bottom or the back of the light. Okay, and this one here that I've just created, I'm going to change the name of that to spare / top 2, because it's really making up the remainder of my top together with this one here. Okay, once we've done that, we've now got 3D objects or bodies, components, okay, as well as just our 2D sketch. These are just staying as 2D sketches, that's fine, because we've got everything we need just here. The Final thing I'm going to do before putting them together is to change the colour, and then I'll put them together. So I'm going to stop this tutorial here. When you get to this point and you've got all of your components extruded and you've named them all up in a logical, sensible way, okay, and if you can check which is which by clicking on any one of those, and you'll see the actual object is being highlighted as I work my way through. That's where you need to get to, and then we're going to do a Command S and OK. I'm going to stop this tutorial here, and on the next one we'll show you how to colour them and assemble them. Okay.